Hi guys, it's Jean here. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how I upcycled these 3 oversized men's shirts I got from Sobers into something new. So let's go. So the first one is really simple and easy for beginners, and I'm going to transform this blue shirt into an off-shoulder top. So like I said, this is really easy. All you need is a shirt, a pair of scissors, as well as some elastic, and the only thing you need to do really is just cut a line along the shoulders of the shirt. Now there are a couple of ways of doing it. If you prefer to use hot glue, like many other tutorials, then go ahead, but I totally suck at hot glue, so I'm just going to use a sewing machine. Now there's also 2 ways of doing it depending on your preference. I prefer to sew the elastic together first. So what I did was cut the elastic to my shoulders to make sure it fits comfortably, and then join the corners together. Then I'm going to wrap the shirt around the elastic and sew it down. If you're going to do this, make sure you leave a few millimeters so you don't sew over the elastic, otherwise it won't stretch properly. The other option is you could sew the shirt first and create a little loophole and thread the elastic through, and then once the elastic is threaded through, then sew the elastic together. I prefer this way because I don't know, it just works better for me. And I definitely recommend sewing if you can rather than hot gluing, because like I said, for me hot gluing is a big mess, and I think sewing is one of those skills that everyone should really have because it comes in handy regardless of your gender. So this is a quick before the shot, and this is the after shot. So like I said, it's really simple. All I did was really create an elastic band around the shoulders. I didn't make any other changes. I just rolled up the sleeve for a nice casual look, and I think this is great for spring as well. It goes nice with denim or like a skirt or shorts. So the next shirt is this black one that is super nice material. I believe it's polyester, but it's got this kind of like sheen, kind of silk kind of feel to it, which is really nice and cool. I kind of wanted to keep the similar style because I really like it, and black is quite flattering. So I thought I'd go for something simple and create like an off shoulder, but something that I've seen in Boohoo a lot, and keep the collar on it as well. So to show you what I mean, what I've done is I've cut the collars off to use it, and I've also cut along the shoulders again. So it's kind of like an off shoulder top, but I'm going to add a strap to it. So these are all the cutouts. It's a little bit harder to explain, but I'll show you what I mean. So the first thing I did was hem down the shoulders just to make it look a bit more neater, and also stop it from unfurling later on as well. Once that's done, I've also done the same to the collar. So I've sewed down the bit that I initially cut, and also joined that onto the shirt using a zigzag stitch, just to kind of keep it all even. And also match it with the end of the shirt as well. Using the leftover material from the back of the shirt that I cut out, I created some straps with it. So I've just sewed it together, also turned it inside out and added another zigzag stitch all the way down just to kind of flatten it and attach it to my shirt. So this is the before shot of the shirt, and this is the after. So I quite like it. Like I said, I was going to buy something similar from Boohoo. Lucky I did it because this was so easy to make. The only other thing I want to mention as well, because the shoulders were quite loose, they were quite baggy, so I did do a gather stitch along the shoulders just to kind of gather that in a bit to make it look more fitted so it won't completely fall off my shoulder. But I quite like this, and yeah, so like I said, this is more of an intermediate, but I think it looks really good. Now the last one is a little bit more complicated when it comes to stitching techniques, and it's definitely by far the most technique I've ever used, so I'm quite proud of myself for this one. This white shirt is cotton with a little bit of elasticity in it, so I really like it. So what I decided was to turn this around and create like a bell sleeve shirt. So the first thing I did was turn the shirt around, and I just want to mention that all these cuttings I've kind of just eyeballed it. I didn't measure it, so if you're not comfortable, then I definitely recommend measuring it before you cut. Now with this one, the first thing I did was to cut the sleeves off and then created a new shoulder length as well as some neck holes as well. Because I cut a new shoulder, I also adjusted and cut the side of the sleeves just to make it fit more better, as well as cutting the other length of the sleeves to make the bell sleeves. This seems a little bit more complicated, but it's not as bad as it sounds. Now, I also want to mention that I'm by far not a professional sewer. I only do this as a hobby and haven't really taken any formal lessons really. I've just kind of learned as I go, and this is by far the most, I guess, complex design I've ever fixed up. So the first thing I've decided to do was to fix up the neckline by hemming it down. By then I realised that I left the video on and kind of ran out and didn't record the rest. So I'm just going to kind of draw up a diagram to show you how I've kind of done it. So turning the shirt inside out, I went ahead and joined the shoulders together. I also tried this on in between just to make sure to get the right fit and everything as well as I go. I then went ahead and joined the sleeves together because I cut off the excess bits that I cut off from the top of the shirt. And then again inside out, joined it to the actual main part of the shirt. So now moving on to the bell sleeves, what I did with the excess sleeve material, I created a extension just to give a little bit more puff, I guess, in terms of the bell sleeves, and then I sewed that to the sleeves. Also want to mention that this can be a little bit more tricky. You need to imagine how you expect the end to finish up. So to do this, you need to make sure one sleeve is turned inside out and the other one is not. I suggest using pins to pin it down and having a look to see what the finishing product is, because sometimes you might find that you stitch one side inside out towards the other. And also make sure you then go ahead and hem the end of the bell sleeves as well. So this is the before shot of the shirt and this is the after. So like I said, this looks completely different and I'm quite proud of how it turned out because it turned out a lot better than I expected. I think this shirt was also originally a fitted men's shirt, so what that means is they had like panels at the back, which actually turned out quite well at the front as well. But yeah, so again, I'm not a professional, so I didn't expect a professional finish, but I'm quite happy with the way it turned out. Let me know what you think, which one you liked. Give this video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to watch more. Thanks for watching. Bye!